Marcus Lucinius Crassus stands as a towering figure of ancient Rome, wealthy beyond measure, yet haunted by a relentless ambition that defined his very existence. Living alongside the legendary Julius Caesar and Pompey, Crassus was not content to simply be known for his vast fortune. He yearned for a glory that money alone could never buy. While Caesar marched to conquer Gaul and Pompey expanded the empire's borders, Crassus carved his own path through cunning, shrewd business, and political maneuvering. His story is one of paradox, a man who amassed unimaginable wealth yet remained deeply insecure, consumed by envy for the military triumphs of his contemporaries. This hunger for greatness drove Crassus to risk everything in a perilous campaign against the Parthian Empire, seeking the immortal glory that had eluded him. But fate proved cruel. Despite his riches and power, Crassus fell victim to overconfidence and hubris, leading to a devastating defeat that shattered his army and claimed the life of his own son. His tragic end, whether through brutal execution or the haunting legend of molten gold forced down his throat, symbolizes the bitter irony of a life obsessed with wealth but devoid of true honor. Crassus's journey is a timeless cautionary tale about the limits of material wealth and the dangers of unbridled ambition. It reminds us that no amount of gold can secure what truly matters: respect, legacy, and peace of mind. In the grand tapestry of history, Crassus is remembered not for the riches he hoarded, but for the price he paid, a poignant testament to the human cost of greed and the eternal quest for meaning beyond wealth. Marcus Lucinius Crassus's journey to immense wealth was as cunning as it was ruthless, revealing a man who understood the power of money far beyond mere fortune. Unlike his contemporaries Julius Caesar and Pompey, who sought honor and glory on the battlefield, Crassus chose a different battlefield, one of property, influence, and control. His ambition was not for the fleeting praise of war, but for lasting power rooted in golden land. When Rome was rocked by political upheaval and enemies' possessions were seized, Crassus saw not chaos but opportunity. With a shrewd eye and unyielding resolve, he amassed vast estates for a fraction of their true value, turning tragedy into profit. Perhaps his most infamous and chilling innovation was Rome's first fire brigade, 500 slaves trained not simply to fight fires but to wield fear as leverage. When flames devoured a building, Crassus's men arrived swiftly, not to save but to offer a cruel bargain: sell your burning property to me at a meager price or watch it burn to the ground. This cold calculus of greed and power exposed a man who would not just survive the brutal world of Roman politics, but dominate it through relentless ambition. Yet beneath this mastery of wealth lay a deeper hunger, a restless yearning for more, a need to prove that money could command the world. Crassus's story forces us to confront the dark side of success, where the pursuit of riches blinds us to morality, compassion, and ultimately, the true cost of power. His path to wealth was paved with cunning and cruelty, a testament to the intoxicating allure of gold and the price we pay when ambition eclipses conscience. Despite possessing unimaginable wealth that could have secured him a comfortable and powerful life, Marcus Lucinius Crassus was tormented by a restless ambition that money alone could never satisfy. Living in the shadow of towering figures like Julius Caesar and Pompey, men who earned their place in history through military conquest and glory, Crassus felt an aching void, a yearning to be remembered not just as the richest man in Rome, but as a great leader and warrior. His vast fortune amassed through cunning and sometimes ruthless means was a crown heavy with frustration. For all his riches, he envied the triumphs Caesar and Pompey achieved on the battlefield, victories that brought fame, honor, and the adulation of Rome. This rivalry fueled a relentless desire within Crassus to prove himself in the arena of war, a stage he had largely avoided in his earlier years. He longed to transform his legacy from one of financial dominance to one of immortal renown, to have his name echo alongside those of Rome's greatest generals. Yet ambition is a double-edged sword, and for Crassus this hunger was both a driving force and a consuming fire. It blinded him to caution, made him dismiss prudent advice, and pushed him toward a fatal gamble against the Parthians, a campaign that would ultimately shatter his dreams and cost him his life. In Crassus's story, we witness the human struggle between wealth and honor, security, and risk, legacy, and mortality. His rivalry with Caesar and Pompey is not just political or military. It is deeply personal, a poignant reminder that no matter how much power or money one possesses, the desire for recognition and purpose can drive even the most successful to risk everything. Crassus's ambition teaches us about the dangers of envy and the tragic cost of seeking glory at any price. At the age of 60, when most men seek the comfort of peace and the rewards of a life well lived, Marcus Lucinius Crassus chose a different path, a perilous march toward the unknown, fueled by a desperate craving for military glory. His campaign against the Parthian Empire, a vast and powerful realm spanning modern-day Iran and Iraq, was not merely a strategic maneuver. It was the embodiment of a lifelong hunger to transcend wealth and claim the honor that had long eluded him. Crassus, burdened by envy of Caesar's and Pompey's battlefield triumphs, believed that this campaign could finally etch his name in the annals of history as a great conqueror. But ambition can blind even the wisest. Ignoring ominous signs, refusing prudent counsel, and turning away from potential alliances, Crassus advanced into hostile lands with a sense of invincibility, born of his fortune, rather than military expertise. The unforgiving deserts and open plains of Mesopotamia became the stage for his greatest gamble, a battle not just for territory, but for his very legacy. The Parthian horse archers, masters of speed and precision, unleashed a deadly storm of arrows that shattered the disciplined Roman legions, turning Crassus's hope into a catastrophic defeat. This ill-fated campaign is a somber testament to the limits of power when wielded without wisdom, and the tragic cost of a man who sought to buy honor with blood and gold. Crassus's final venture stands as a poignant reminder that no matter how vast one's wealth or how fierce one's ambition, nature and fate can humble even the mightiest. In his relentless pursuit, Crassus discovered that some victories, true glory, and eternal respect cannot be won by force alone, but through a harmony of courage, humility, and prudence. The campaign against the Parthian Empire, once a beacon of hope for Marcus Lucinius Crassus, swiftly turned into a harrowing nightmare, one marked by tragedy, hubris, and devastating loss. Overconfidence clouded Crassus's judgment, blinding him to the harsh realities of the terrain, the strength of his enemy, and the wisdom of his advisors. His refusal to forge crucial alliances and his dismissal of prudent counsel sealed the fate of his legions. At the Battle of Carrhae, the mighty Roman army, famed for its discipline and strength, was mercilessly outmaneuvered by the Parthian horse archers, whose relentless barrage of arrows tore through the ranks like a storm no shield could withstand. The defeat was not just military, it was deeply personal and profoundly heartbreaking. Among the thousands lost was Crassus's own son Publius, a capable commander who had fought bravely but was ultimately surrounded and killed. The image of a father receiving the severed head of his son delivered a psychological blow far heavier than any battlefield wound. Crassus, once the richest man in Rome, was left broken, not just in spirit, but in the very fabric of his ambition and legacy. This catastrophic failure serves as a stark lesson in the perils of arrogance and the fatal consequences of ignoring wise counsel. Crassus's downfall at Carrhae reminds us that wealth and ambition, no matter how vast, cannot shield one from the cruel hand of fate. It is a timeless tale of pride before the fall, where the price of overreach is paid in blood loss and shattered dreams. In the end, Crassus's military disaster echoes through history as a somber warning. True strength demands humility, alliance, and respect for forces beyond one's control. The death of Marcus Lucinius Crassus marked a tragic and haunting end to a life consumed by ambition and greed. After the catastrophic defeat at Carrhae, Crassus found himself surrounded with no choice but to negotiate peace with the Parthians, a moment that should have brought calm and resolution, instead became the stage for his final downfall. Historical accounts tell of his brutal killing during these negotiations, but what has echoed through the centuries is a legend far more symbolic and chilling, that molten gold was poured down his throat, a cruel and ironic punishment for a man whose insatiable thirst for wealth had defined his existence. Whether this vivid image is fact or folklore matters less than the profound message it conveys. To imagine a man who built an empire of riches meeting his end with the very substance he so desperately coveted is a haunting metaphor for the dangers of unchecked greed. It is a striking, almost poetic justice, the molten gold symbolizing both the poison of avarice and the bitter price paid when desire consumes the soul. This tale has endured because it speaks to a universal truth that wealth, no matter how vast, cannot buy salvation, dignity, or the ultimate escape from fate. Crassus's death, whether steeped in legends or reality, serves as a powerful moral lesson. It warns of the peril in valuing riches over wisdom, in chasing more without heed to consequence. It reminds us that ambition without balance can lead not to triumph, but to ruin. In the end, the image of Crassus drinking molten gold remains a somber, unforgettable symbol, a cautionary echo through history about the price of insatiable desire and the limits of human hubris. The story of Marcus Lucinius Crassus is a profound and timeless reminder of the harsh realities that lie beneath the glittering surface of wealth and power. Despite amassing fortunes beyond imagination, Crassus's life reveals a bitter irony. No amount of gold can purchase true glory, nor can it stave off the inevitable fate that awaits all men. His tragic end serves as a stark lesson that riches alone are not enough to secure honor, respect, or even survival. The insatiable thirst for more, whether it be wealth, fame, or control, can ultimately lead to downfall no matter how high one climbs. Crassus's death had repercussions that rippled far beyond the battlefield. It fractured the fragile balance of power within the Roman Republic, removing a crucial mediator between Julius Caesar and Pompey. Without Crassus to temper their rivalry, the stage was set for a devastating civil war that would reshape Rome forever. In this way, Crassus's fate was intertwined not just with his personal ambitions, but with the destiny of an empire itself. His loss destabilized the political landscape and set in motion events that would lead to the end of the Republic and the rise of imperial Rome. Beyond the historical facts lies a powerful moral, unchecked ambition and greed are dangerous forces. Crassus's story warns us about the consequences of pursuing power and wealth without restraint or reflection. His life and death caution against the blindness that comes with hubris, believing oneself invincible because of money or influence. It is a sobering reminder that the quest for more can consume a person, eroding judgment and humanity alike. Today, Crassus is remembered not for triumphant victories or lasting achievements, but as a symbol of greed and the tragic costs that come with it. His legacy is a somber parable about the limits of material wealth and the peril of sacrificing wisdom and moderation on the altar of ambition. In the end, the tale of Marcus Crassus endures as a reflection on human nature, a call to value balance, humility, and the intangible virtues that no amount of gold can buy. Marcus Lucinius Crassus serves as a powerful reminder that while money can buy many things, it cannot buy everything. Despite being the richest man in Rome, his unchecked greed and relentless ambition ultimately led to a tragic fate that no wealth could prevent. His story is not just a personal tragedy, but a timeless warning about the dangers of placing ambition and desire above wisdom and morality. Through his life and death, we learn that no amount of riches can replace intelligence, humility, and the true values that define us as human beings. The lessons from Crassus's downfall are clear: ambition must be balanced with prudence. Money is not the key to glory or life, and arrogance coupled with ignoring good advice often leads to ruin. Greed rarely ends well. It can destroy both a person's life and legacy. Ultimately, success requires not only talent and resources, but also humility and careful preparation. Crassus's legacy encourages us to seek a life of balance and wisdom rather than endless pursuit of wealth and power.